Good afternoon. It is good to be with you this afternoon. Today, in our devotion, I really wanted to talk about worship because worship has looked really different over the last 8 weeks than it ever has before here at St. Barnabas. For one thing, we've been worshiping online for the last 8 weeks, which is way longer than anyone ever thought we would be. And now, with guidelines in place from Governor Abbott, um, we could be worshiping online for a while longer. And so, I wanted to take the time just to talk about worship and particularly online worship and how we can participate in it. According to our Book of Order, it says Christian worship gives all glory and honor, praise, and thanksgiving to the holy triune God. We are gathered in worship to glorify the God who is present and active among us. I love that statement because it affirms that even now God is present and active among us. So when we gather for worship, whether we're doing it together in our sanctuary or online together, then we know that God is present and active among us. It is something that we can do together to affirm God's presence in our lives. When we've been worshiping online, it's taken place in numerous different settings. At first, we were here in our own sanctuary recording worship, and it looked very similar to what you were used to having in person. Now, with increased risk, we have moved to worship online, each one of us from our own homes, and that's looked a little bit different. Sometimes we're outside. And sometimes we're in front of our fireplaces, and sometimes we're at our kitchen tables. One of the things that I love about that is the intimacy of it. We can begin to see each other in new light, in a new way. Sometimes when we're outside too, the birds are singing, or a bug flies by, and I like the spontaneity of it. I like the aliveness of it. And in doing it outside, I am reminded of all of God's good gifts that we have been given to be grateful for. It connects me to nature, it connects me to God, and it feels like it connects me to you. If I can't be with you in the sanctuary and worship, to know that we are connected in this one great big world makes me feel good. I also wanted to say that when we worship online, it's in many ways not the same as when we worship together. One of the things that's difficult is that when we have responsive readings, when there's a one and an all, and families are trying to do both of those for you. And sometimes we speak too fast, or sometimes we speak too slow. The rhythm feels off. Of course, you have the words and the bulletin in front of you, and you can speak those words or not. If someone is speaking too fast and it's more comfortable for you to just read them on the page, that's fine. If you want to listen to them spoken without reading them, and then stop your video and then read the words and let them digest, that's okay too. I want us all to remember what we're doing is glorifying, honor, and praising God in this process. So however you find that you're best able to do that when worshiping online, create space for that. Create space for new rituals. Don't think that you have to do it in exactly the same way that you were doing it before. I've heard some wonderful stories from some of our families who have found it very freeing to be able to stop worship and talk about a particular song or prayer or even parts of the sermon, and to discuss that in your family. So I encourage that. If that comes naturally and it feels good to you and it praises God, then do it. Please engage in worship together. Also, I wanted to say that It's okay to sing. I am one of those people who I don't want my microphone on when we're singing. I can sing okay, but I'm not a great singer and I'm not particularly confident. But I still want to make a joyful noise to the Lord. And so there's a freedom that online worship gives me and that no one else can hear me sing, and especially not on a microphone. Oftentimes, George and Dwayne have done beautiful things with the music and scrolled the words at the bottom of pictures. And we have an opportunity to praise God in so many new ways that I don't want to take for granted, and I don't want to say is a substitute for the way we regularly worship. There is plenty to find praise in God in this new way of worship. Also, I encourage you to share worship. Share worship with your neighbors. Share worship with your friends. Share worship with your family. Watch it at the same time, or arrange to talk on the phone about it later. Some of you have said, oh, the hymn was so beautiful. I want to forward it to my friend. Can you send it to me? The link is on YouTube. Share that link of the worship service with the hymn in it. This provides us an opportunity to reach out to the world in ways that we may not have ever considered we could. Also, I want you to know that also in worship, we are sent out in service to glorify the same God who is present and active in our world. So worship isn't just a one-time, 1-hour thing that happens on Sunday or Saturday night or whenever it is that you watch it. Worship extends beyond the service out into the world. So we respond to our worship. You've heard us say that, and worship in our sanctuary. That's when we have our offering. We offer ourselves, our tithes, our prayers, our commitments. So this is a time when we have a lot more time on our hands. Take that time of commitment seriously. And whether you're giving money or tithes, or whether you're giving your thoughts and your prayers and your love and your compassion, whether you're deciding to write letters to 3 friends, or whether you're deciding to let 3 people know that they've been on your mind this week, I encourage you to consider that time as a time to respond to what we've done in worship together. I hope that all of this helps. Surely worshiping online is not what we expected to be doing, and in many ways it's not ideal, but in many ways it gives us opportunities that we would not have discovered otherwise. So may we worship together, glorifying God and giving our praise. I miss you. I love you. Stay safe and stay home.